Knowing that you have the game to push these guys, does that give you extra motivation?
Sure. I mean, it gives me the belief that I know I can do it, and every time I step against them, I know I have a chance to beat them, and I know that both of them find it uncomfortable to play me, so that's like extra motivation for me. And yeah, I always had great matches with JANNIK. Even before he turned out as a Grand Slam champion, he was always an incredible player. So I think it's always been an exciting matchup with me and both of them. So for my case, it's about being as consistent to do it every week, to be able to give myself the chance to play them much more often. And I think that would also make my level increase a lot, because we get to challenge themselves almost every week against each other. And me, sometimes I lose maybe second or third round, and then I make it maybe one time I get to play them, or two times in a year. And that's just not enough to really see where I'm at compared to them.
Danish tennis player Holger Rune has criticized the rest of the players for not standing up to the Italian and the Spaniard, and has proclaimed himself the candidate to do it. The superiority of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner over their rivals is evident. The two best players in the world have been sharing most of the trophies in recent years, leaving almost nothing for the rest. In recent months, there has been speculation about the need to find a third player who can challenge them consistently. However, there is still no clear candidate capable of beating both. Regarding this issue, an active player who is currently injured, Holger Rune, has spoken. With only two guys making finals and winning everything, it becomes boring, to be honest. I think more players are needed to challenge them. Not just in one tournament, but consistently, the Danish player said in an interview with Tales of Tennis. Currently, there are dozens of players on the circuit with a very high level, but they are not able to keep up with Alcaraz and Sinner. Despite this, Rune proclaims himself as the candidate to do it. I know I can do it, and every time I step on court against them, I know I have a chance to beat them. I also know that both of them feel uncomfortable playing against me, so that motivates me even more. My goal hasn't changed. It's to be at the top and win Grand Slam titles, he adds. As for his matches against the two players, Rune is one of the few rivals who maintains a balanced record. Against the Spaniard, he has 2 wins and 2 losses, and against Jannik, 2 wins and 3 losses. How much money does Sinner earn for the Indian Wells title? The Italian takes home a check of $1,610,380 compared to Medvedev's $612,340 as runner-up. Jannik Sinner added this Sunday at the Tennis Garden in Indian Wells his 25th title as a professional, 22 of them on hard courts. The Italian defeated Daniil Medvedev in the final, who had previously beaten Carlos Alcaraz in the semi-finals. Sinner takes home a valuable prize from the Californian desert amounting to $1,610,380, while Medvedev earns $612,340 as the runner-up. The player from San Condito also closes the gap with Alcaraz by 1,000 points in the ATP ranking. Medvedev settles for 650 points, which help him return to the world top 10 this Monday, replacing Kazakhstan's Alexander Bublik. The Russian's consistency at the start of the season places him third in the 2026 race, which grants qualification to the ATP Finals in Turin, behind Alcaraz and Sinner. The striking stat that highlights the dominance of Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner over their rivals. Both players have won 21 out of the 22 tournaments in which they have both participated and have a win percentage of 95.45%. The 2024 Mutua Madrid Open is the only one they did not win. The fact that Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have no real rivals is a reality that many players have already accepted. Their dominance on the ATP circuit is so great that in recent years, they are almost always the ones who end up lifting the trophies. The two best players in the world have been attending the same tournaments for years, and the trophy almost always goes to one of them. In fact, there is a statistic showing that whenever they play the same tournament, one of them wins it. Specifically, out of the last 22 tournaments in which both have played, 21 have been won by either Carlos or Jannik. With the exception of the 2024 Mutua Madrid Open, events such as Masters 1000 tournaments, all the Grand Slams, several ATP 500 events, and the ATP Finals have been conquered by them. In this way, both Alcaraz and Sinner have a tournament win rate of 95.45% when they compete in the same events. This clearly highlights their dominance over their rivals in recent years, even though the level of the rest of the players has improved. So far in 2026, the 3 major tournaments that have been played, the Australian Open, the ATP 500 in Doha, and the Masters 1000 in Indian Wells, have been shared between them, with Alcaraz currently having the edge. Their next stop will be the Miami Masters 1000, where we will see which of the two takes the title or whether an upset occurs. Carlos Alcaraz keeps his promise after winning the Australian Open and gets a kangaroo tattoo. In addition to being world number 1, Carlos Alcaraz has proven to be a man of his word. After winning his first Australian Open, his 7th Grand Slam, the Spaniard said he would get a kangaroo tattoo. A month and a half after that final against Novak Djokovic, the Murcia native shared on social media the moment he fulfilled his promise. "I will definitely get a kangaroo because of today. What I'm not sure about yet is whether it will be on the right or the left," Alcaraz said after winning the Australian Open. Finally, as seen in the photo with the tattoo artist, the chosen spot was his left leg. The Spaniard began his tradition of getting a tattoo representing each Grand Slam when he won Wimbledon in 2023. To celebrate his victory against Novak Djokovic, Alcaraz tattooed a strawberry, the symbol of the tournament, along with the date, July 16, 2023. A year later, after winning Roland Garros, he tattooed the Eiffel Tower on his leg along with the date of that day when he defeated Alexander Zverev. At the end of last year, months after winning the US Open, the Murcia native got a tattoo featuring a collage of the Statue of Liberty and the Brooklyn Bridge, 2 iconic landmarks of New York City. What does a champion feel when they see their biggest rival lift an important trophy? On the ATP circuit, where every point can change a season, even the best closely watch others' victories. Jannik Sinner's triumph at Indian Wells, after defeating Daniil Medvedev in an intense final decided by 2 tie breaks, was not only a great moment for the Italian. It also triggered an interesting reaction from Carlos Alcaraz, who remains the world number 1 and one of the key figures in this new tennis rivalry. After the Indian Wells final, Carlos Alcaraz watched Jannik Sinner's celebration with a mix of respect, ambition, and a slight competitive smile. The Spaniard was not on the center court, but he was following every point of the match between the Italian and Daniil Medvedev, a tense battle decided by small details. For a competitor like Alcaraz, seeing his rival lift the trophy is not just another moment on the tour. It is a signal. A reminder that the top of tennis is shifting and that every victory by others is also a challenge. When the match ended and Sinner raised his arms in the Californian desert, Alcaraz wrote a brief message on his phone before speaking with his team. Frustration was not what dominated the atmosphere, but analysis. The Spaniard had previously lost to an inspired Medvedev, and now he saw how the Italian managed to overcome him in 2 very tough tie breaks. That kind of final, Alcaraz thought, is what defines seasons. While some see a champion celebrating, he sees patterns, decisions, moments of pressure, and opportunities to improve in the future on the tour. According to people close to his team, Alcaraz's initial reaction was very simple but revealing. He looked at the screen, nodded slightly, and commented that Sinner was playing with impressive calmness. There was no sign of anger, but something more dangerous for his rivals: motivation. Alcaraz understands that his rivalry with the Italian is becoming the driving force of this new era of tennis. Every title won by one automatically raises the level of the other, creating constant pressure that forces improvement in every aspect of the game. In the locker room, the Spaniard reportedly also commented on how difficult the match between Sinner and Medvedev had been. The baseline exchanges, the precision on serve, and mental composure were elements that did not go unnoticed. For Alcaraz, these kinds of finals show more than talent, they show mental resilience. And that is where the Spaniard believes a large part of the battle in major tournaments is decided. In matches where no one gives away break points, the mind becomes the most powerful weapon.